My name is Douglas Arner. I'm a professor here at the University of Hong Kong, and I'll be starting out our session today, Hong Kong U FinTech Day 2020. This is our fourth annual Hong Kong U FinTech Day. And of course, this one is our first virtual Hong Kong FinTech Day. And in many ways, this is even better than the physical version for the simple reason that many more of you can join from many more places than was possible with the physical sort of venue. And if we look at our structure. Today, we're going to start out with a few short presentations from myself and my colleagues, Professor SMU with our Faculty of Engineering and Professor Chin Lin from our Faculty of Business and Economics. We'll then move from there to introduce you to a couple of FinTech startups from Hong Kong U. Terence Chung, CEO of Next InsurTech Limited, and Jacob Wu from Brain Investing Limited. And finally today, we'll wrap up with a panel looking at a range of founders and their experiences. Bowie Lau, founder of Magspire, Mushir Ahmed, founder and CEO of FinStep Asia, David Lee, principal lecturer in the HKU Business School, and Lawrence Tang of Hong Kong U's iDendron, all chaired by Janos Barberis from Hong Kong U, CFTE, and Supercharger. And I think when we look, and then tomorrow in day 2, starting at the same time, we'll start with our big issues panel. I'll be joined by PwC's Henry Arcelanian, by Julia Walker, by Huinian Tru from CFTE, and by Brian Tang from Hong Kong U's Light Lab. You'll then have the opportunity to meet a couple of more Hong Kong U startups, Kevin from Fundergo and Aditya Mehta from Bamboo Network. And finally, talking about the future of startup ecosystems and online education with a distinguished panel comprising Terence Chung, Yina Chan, Kevin Ng, Stephanie Biederman, and chaired by Alessandro DeLulu. So looking forward to, I think, 2 good days in one Hong Kong U FinTech Day. Now, when we think about Hong Kong U FinTech, we're really bringing together all of the efforts of Hong Kong U in the area of FinTech across the entire university, in particular from the Asian Institute of International Financial Law in the Faculty of Law, the Hong Kong U Business School, and our new HKU Standard Chartered Foundation FinTech Academy, which SMU will be telling you more about, as well as our Light Lab and iDendron, and supported by CFTE and Invest Hong Kong, as this is part of the broader Hong Kong FinTech Week initiative. So when we look at FinTech at Hong Kong U, we're really looking at teaching, at research, at engagement and impact. And engagement and impact, very much events such as this, but also a range of partnerships, not only with educational institutions, but with the private sector and the public sector. And one of the most recent examples of this, a joint award was Standard Chartered yesterday at the first BIS HKMA Tech Challenge for trade finance. And so I think that highlights very much what we can see more of between university and industry engagement. From the standpoint of teaching, very much online education has been one of our foundations. And of course, our first course, Introduction to FinTech, and you'll recognize many of our speakers, and we see many familiar names from learners all over the world, is now one of the world's largest FinTech courses, bringing together people from all over the world. And that course has been joined by FinTech Ethics and Risks and Blockchain and FinTech to create the first professional certificate in FinTech, which I think has really set the stage for Hong Kong U's initiatives. In addition, and you'll be hearing more about these from SMU and Chin, a range of traditional degrees. In particular, our BASC in FinTech is now in its 2nd year. A new MSc in FinTech from the HKU Business School in its 1st year, and taking applications soon, as you'll hear from SMU, our new MSc in FinTech from the engineering school, as well as a very heavy focus in our compliance and regulation program. You'll hear more about Light Lab tomorrow. And from the standpoint of research, a range of research initiatives, and Shen and SM will talk about their respective faculties. If I look at the law faculty, we're probably most heavily focused on issues of tech, fin, big tech, and platforms, most recently highlighted by Ant's listing to be the largest IPO this week. A very heavy focus on digital finance, financial inclusion, and the sustainable development goals, the positive impact that we're seeing from digital finance all over the world. RegTech and SoupTech. And of course, later this week, the World RegTech Summit, highlighting many of these sorts of issues, and a major Hong Kong U-wide project focusing on central bank digital currencies. And you'll be hearing more about those as well. And of course, from the standpoint of research, increasing success from the standpoint of funding and collaboration. And just an encouragement to reach out to me at any time and to keep an eye out for further research efforts coming from our side.